up everyone? Welcome back. I wanted to show you a little video of some cardio I did the other day. I did a HIIT cardio. I did 4 rounds of battle ropes, and then I did 4 rounds of sprint. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little clip of me doing cardio. This video is going to be everything pretty much you need to know about cardio. If you're trying to lose weight, then I suggest doing HIIT cardio. So for those that don't know what HIIT cardio is, it's pretty much high intensity cardio. That's what it stands for. And so what you're doing is you're raising your heart up to almost maximal level, and then you stop and you give yourself some time to bring down the heart rate. I'll explain this more in a little bit, but I just want to tell you guys. So the reason why you're burning more calories is, one, you're doing it in a less amount of time because you're going full throttle for a couple of seconds, and you're not just walking on the treadmill for like 30-40 minutes, you know? And it is a lot more demanding. Since it's more demanding, it means you're burning more calories. That's pretty much what it means in short. So highly suggest doing HIIT cardio if you're trying to lose weight. I want to talk about also powerlifting, because I am a powerlifter, and I am trying to cut a little bit. So you probably think that I'm just doing a whole bunch of HIIT. You guys probably think that I'm just doing a whole bunch of HIIT cardio sessions. It's actually not true. I'm actually incorporating steady cardio as well. So the reason as a powerlifter why I do HIIT cardio and steady cardio is because, like I mentioned before, HIIT cardio is really demanding, and so it could affect my training. And as a powerlifter, you really want to minimize all outside factors to affect your training, whether it be sleep, whether it be stress or your diet or other types of exercise. You really want to minimize those factors so it won't affect your training. So now you're probably thinking, well, if it affects your training, then why not just do steady cardio, right? Well, so let me explain a little bit about steady cardio. So steady cardio is pretty much what I like to do is just go on the treadmill on incline, just not run, just walk at a good pace for anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes. That's usually what I do. But the problem with that is, it's with steady cardio, you will start adapting to it. As you build aerobic fitness, then your body will start to adapt to that. And what that means is you're gonna have to start doing more. Let's say you started doing cardio for like 20 minutes at a really slow pace. Eventually, you're gonna have to start doing more, whether it be more time, whether it be higher incline or faster pace. That's entirely up to you, but you're gonna have to start doing more because your body adapted to it. And so now the calories you were able to burn before, it's not gonna be the same amount of calories because your aerobic fitness is a lot higher. And so I don't want to do a whole bunch of cardio. Nobody does, and nobody should have to. The only bad thing about steady cardio is that you will adapt to it and you will start to doing more. But it's a great way to incorporate cardio because it really doesn't affect your training. So with all of that being said, now I want to start talking about steady cardio. So how you should incorporate steady cardio is by, you want to do 15 to 25% of your maintenance calories. So what does that mean? So let me just show you. Let's say your maintenance is 2,300 calories, right? That's your maintenance. That's what you have to eat in order for you to not lose weight and for not to gain weight. Now, I'm not saying this is what you should follow. This is just an example, so don't follow these numbers exactly. So if you want to do 15 to 25%, right? So if you want to burn 15 to 25%, then you're gonna have to burn 345 to 575 kcals. So starting out, I would probably pick the lower range. One, your aerobic fitness isn't all there yet. And two, this might be enough to get you to where you want to be. So why are you going to do all of this when you can just do this? But I definitely would start around the lower range first. So now, the easy part is just dividing that and picking how you want to do it. So if you want to burn 345 calories in one day, then go ahead. That's going to be a long, steady cardio session. I would suggest maybe breaking that up into 2 or even 3 cardio sessions. So it just depends how many calories you have to burn. But I definitely would keep it around 2 to 3 cardio sessions. So this is only if you're trying to do steady cardio. You're not including HIIT cardio whatsoever. So like I said, your body will start adapting to it, so you're gonna have to start doing more. So you want to increase it by like 10 or 20% each week. Or if you see like nothing's happening, then you want to increase it by 10 and 20%. So like, let's say you did 345 calories, then you want to increase that by 10%. And you guys can do the math, you just multiply it. It's really not that hard. So for HIIT cardio, what you want to do is you want to do anywhere from 15 to 45 seconds, or 40 seconds I would say. So like I showed you guys, I like doing battle ropes and I like doing sprints And that's just like what I prefer to do. Everybody prefers to do different things. There's a bunch of things that you can do for HIIT cardio. For HIIT cardio, you want to do anywhere from 5 to 10 rounds. Obviously, you want to start with the lower range like always, because you don't want to say like I'm gonna do 7 rounds and then die. And then you want to do HIIT cardio like anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. Like I did mention, HIIT cardio is very demanding, and so let me just say an example that you don't want to do. You don't want to do sprints right before, a day before a leg workout, because that's definitely going to affect your training. You're going to be sore from sprinting, and then now you have to do legs. That's not going to happen. So if you are going to do HIIT cardio, let's say a day before legs, then do something with your upper body. So that could be ropes. So you want to keep your heart rate at around 70 to 90% of your max heart rate. And I will be explaining how to find out your max heart rate. But like I said, so like if let's say you're keeping your heart rate around 70%, that'd probably mean you're doing more to like 30 to 40 seconds. If you're actually going 90%, then you're doing around 15 to 20 seconds. Okay, so with that being said, the way I incorporate both is I take the 15 to 25% of my maintenance calories, and that's what I have to burn of cardio, right? So, but I divide that. I do 2 rounds of steady cardio, and then I do 2 rounds of HIIT cardio, and I just divide up the calories just so it's easier for me to do. So I am doing cardio 4 times a week right now. But like I said, it's gonna be specific to your goal. So now I'm going to show you how to figure out what your heart rate should be at certain percentages. We're going to start with your max heart rate. So for this example, we're just going to use a 20-year-old individual, and we're going to use the following formula, which is 206.9 minus 0.67 times 20, which is your age, and that comes out to be 194 beats per minute. So now moving on. So we know that for HIIT cardio, we want to shoot for a range between 70 and 90% of your heart rate reserve, which I will explain in a little bit. I know I wrote max heart rate. So I try to push myself and do a percentage closer to 95%. Now for steady cardio, you want to keep your heart rate at around 60 to 70%. I use around my 65%, but that's just my preference. Everyone's different. So in order to find your heart rate reserve, you subtract your heart rate max minus your resting heart rate, which comes out to be 194 beats per minute minus 60. And to find your resting heart rate, the best time to take it is when you wake up. So just take your pulse when you wake up. So this comes out to be 134 beats per minute. All of these numbers, remember, are going to be different for you. Okay, so now moving on, pretty much anything between 50 and 85% of your heart rate reserve is still okay for steady cardio. Someone more advanced might be able to keep their heart rate at 85% by doing cardio at a moderate intensity. Or at the other end of the spectrum, a beginner might need to start at 50%. But like I said, I find a happy medium, and for me, that's around 65%. So I know cardio machines tell you what your heart rate is, but those aren't 100% accurate. So if you are using cardio machines to tell your heart rate, just take those numbers very lightly. So now we're trying to find what those percentages actually equal to. So we're going to start with 50%. So 0.50 times 134 beats per minute, that is your heart rate reserve. So that comes out to be 67 beats per minute. So now we're going to do the same thing for 85%, and that comes out to be 114 beats per minute. Now we're going to take the resting heart rate, which is 60, and we're going to add 67 plus 60, which is the previous number we just calculated, comes out to be 127 beats per minute. And again, we're going to do the same thing for 114. And that comes out to be 174 beats per minute. I know everything's a bit confusing. Just bear with me right now. Everything will make sense. Okay, so everything you just did is for the target heart rate. The target heart rate for this individual for cardio is anywhere between 127 beats per minute to 174. Obviously, these numbers should be different for you. We can also find out what 70 to 95% are for HIIT cardio. For this example, we're just going to use 95%. So 0.95 times 134, which is your heart rate reserve, is equal to 120. Now we know we have to add that to the resting heart rate, which is 180 beats per minute. So 95% for this individual is 180 beats per minute. So I know you're probably thinking, wouldn't it just be easier to take 70 to 95% of your heart rate max? Well, the problem with that is that it doesn't take into account the individual's resting heart rate. So that's why we use heart rate reserve, because it's more accurate. So I hope all of this made sense. I know I went kind of fast, but feel free to ask me any questions. The last thing I want to say is cardio is not the answer. Cardio is simply an aid for weight loss. In order to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit, and at the end of the day, it's all about calories in versus calories out. If you guys found this helpful, then give it a thumbs up and let me know if you enjoyed this video. And if you have any more questions or I didn't make sense, I know I try to make this short, but it's probably already long. I just try to make it easy and clear to understand. But if you guys still have any questions, then feel free to email me. I'll post my email down below and ask me any questions. So yeah, this is gonna be it. I hope this made sense, and I will be posting more informative videos. If you guys liked it and if you want more of these types of videos, then definitely give it a thumbs up. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Actually doing a meal prep. So the reason why I meal prep is, yes, I do count my macros, but that doesn't mean I don't have to meal prep. I meal prep because when I get home, I am hungry and I want food.